whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come. Whoever you are, whoever you are. Whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come, wanderer, worshipper, ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come. Whoever you are, come, 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 even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, whoever you are, whoever you are. Whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come, wanderer, worshipper, ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come. Whoever you are, come, 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 even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, even if you've been waiting for a miracle to come. Just come. Whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, just come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come. Shuva, shuva, shuva. Shuva, yet again come. Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva. Whoever you are, whoever you are. Whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, come, wanderer, worshipper, ours is not a caravan of despair. whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 whoever you are, come, 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 even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come, even if you've been waiting for a miracle to come. Just come, come, whoever you are. Come, 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 whoever you are. Come, just come, come, whoever you are. Come, 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 whoever you are. Come, come.
Shuva, 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 yet again come. Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, shuva, 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 yet again
Whoever you are, whoever you are. Come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times. Come,
Shuva, yet again come. Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva, 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 yet again come. Oh, Shuva, 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 yet again
Whoever you are, whoever you are. Come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, come, whoever you are, come, 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 even if you.
Shabbat Shalom to all our friends here in the amphitheater and all of you who are joining us at home. We are heading into the evening of the 6th day of the month of Elul. So with Elul comes some special practice, one of which is at this congregation, we always choose an Elul theme song. And it's not hard because there's actually a psalm that one says every morning for the month of Elul that's supposed to provide some insights and some yearning and some inspiration to do the work of Cheshbon HaNefesh, which is that soul accounting that we're up to when we're in this month, where we're trying to lift ourselves and be ready and purer, if that's possible, purer before Rosh Hashanah. So this year we chose a setting of a piece of Psalm 27. Achat sha'alti me'ed Adonai, shivti b'veit Adonai kol yemei chayai. And essentially what that means is I ask for one thing. I want to rest in the house of God all the days of my life. Shivti b'veit Adonai, the house of God. My teacher, Rabbi Jeff Roth, says, when we hear Adonai, that's a name of God that is that has the quality of compassion in it. And so what we're asking for in this psalm is to dwell in the quality of compassion all the days of our life. It's not necessarily about being able to go into our synagogues, it's not necessarily a geographic place. Maybe it's a state of mind to dwell in this divine quality of compassion and love. And some of you know that my husband puts bumper stickers on his car, but I've always stayed away from bumper stickers because I was waiting for the one that I wanted to put on. And I finally made it my own. And it says, if you lived in your heart, you would be home now. And to me, that's what this piece of the psalm is reminding us, is that every time we return to our hearts, we're at home. And every time we return to our hearts, we are dwelling in the house of God. So you'll get to hear this setting of the song every week now until Rosh Hashanah, and maybe even beyond, just because it's so beautiful. So thank you, Kim, for putting up the words, and join in whatever pieces and parts. There's pieces and parts. So be with us.
Achat shalti meit Adonai, Achat shalti otav akesh, Achat shalti meit Adonai, Achat shalti otav akesh.
Shivti, shivti, beveit Adonai. Shivti, shivti, kol yemei chayai. Shivti, shivti, beveit Adonai. Shivti, shivti, kol yemei chayai. Lachazot b'noam Adonai.
B'noam Adonai.
Uvaker b'heichalo.
B'heichalo
Lachazot b'noam Adonai. To gaze upon the beauty of Adonai. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life.
I wanted to share before we light candles and move into Shabbat. I just wanted to share this poem with you. And I remember I read this on the Friday night after September 11th, which was its own traumatic, unprecedented event in all of our lives. And I think some of us with this new wave are feeling a little worse for wear. So maybe this will lift. It's called A Tree by Esther Campbell. A tree spoke to me today. Can you see it? A strange sight, gnarled and twisted by the fury of the winds and sea. You say, how can you find beauty in its jagged form? Ah, but to me, its message is more appealing than the quiet symmetry of a perfect tree. My tree stands on a rocky crag jutting out over the mighty ocean. Its footing seems precarious, yet its roots are twined in and about the rock, enabling it to withstand the storms that come. And come they do, fierce gales that bend the tree back toward the land, whipping off its branches on the seaward side. Again and again, the winds have done their worst, trying to uproot my tree, trying to tear it from its moorings. Yet it has had to bend its back, but it has never broken. Its green arms can always stretch out to land. The ocean spray has spit upon it, laughing at the seeming bravery of a single tree. The tree is like a life, yours or mine perhaps. The gales sweep about us, threatening to tear us from our footing. Sometimes they are about us, sometimes within us, and we become twisted and warped, not able to maintain the beauty God intended for us. Yet, as we set down our roots of faith, God's love and mercy flows through us and heals our scars and helps us to reach out to others, arms of help and kindness, enabling God's beauty to still be seen in us, imperfect though we are. Help us, O God, to be as brave and unswerving as my tree. At this time, I invite Jennifer back to lead us in the candle blessing. I actually have one in English.
Adonai our God, grant me and all my loved ones and friends a chance to truly rest on this Shabbat. May the light of these candles drive out from among us the spirit of anger, the spirit of harm. Send your blessings to this congregation, that for these precious moments together, they may walk in the ways of your Torah, your light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lechad likneh shel Shabbat.
So we're here to honor, and we're here to be together as a community, but most of all, we are here to draw Shabbat into our hearts. So let's do that together with Lecha Dodi.
Pages 20 and 21.
Adonai. מחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרתך ברקיע כרצונו חושך מפני אור ומעביר יום מביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו ידי די 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 ידי די 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 די
Page 32.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשבתנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו ובהם נגד יומם בלילה
ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
34.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed
36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך
למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Please join me responsively on page 39 in the middle. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
מי כמוך, האלים אדוני, מי כמוך, נדר בקודש, נורא תהילו, השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
One day,
Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu Leshalom.
one day,
Hamidenu Shomreinu Lechai.
one day,
Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu Leshalom.
one day,
Hamidenu Shomreinu Lechai. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Page 44.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני, את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפל. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
Page 46.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Elalai, 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 Elalai,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth together. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Say Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, Amcha Yisrael, U'tefilatam, Be'ahava tikaber. Say Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, Amcha Say Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, Amcha Yisrael, U'tefilatam, Be'ahava tikaber. El karov lechol karov, b'nei lavadecha, v'chodneinu, shefuch ruchacha aleinu, v'techezenu inenu b'shuvecha l'tzion, berachamim. Say Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, Amcha Yisrael, U'tefilatam, Be'ahava tikaber. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch hu Baruch Shemo.
המחזיר שכינתו לציון.
Page 59. Together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Ki atah hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atah hu melech adon, shalom, shalom, shalom. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. B'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.
We turn now to page 253 in your Sidurim, where you'll find this evening's prayer for healing, as we call to mind all of those people who are broken in mind, body, and heart, and we offer blessings of their renewal, their healing, their wholeness in any way and all ways that is possible.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
From our congregational families, we remember Chris Argall, Betty Cohen, Amy Cooper, Shar DeGrave, Liz Daniel, Susan Dennison, Elizabeth Draper, Harvey and Susan Filer, Andrew Fisher, Dean Gavney, Jacob and Roger Gluckman, Gabby Goldberg, Stuart Goodman, Ramesh Gupta, Bert Horowitz, Laurel and Molly Jonas, Karen Katz, Dick Kelvin, Jean Nofel, Chris Kuntz, Allison Miller, Jim Rudisil, Deborah Sanders, Julie Sherman, Shoshana Slatke, Matthew Treehub, Bob Ward, Janet Weil. All the names listed in the chat. And if there are names that you would like to share aloud.
מי שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
I welcome you to a moment of silence.
Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru.
I invite you to turn with me to the installation ceremony that should have been tucked in your books, and it looks like this. And this is something that our congregation gets to do only once every 2 years as our board changes presidencies only every other year. It's really a celebration. It's a beautiful transition, but also a celebration, because in this congregation there are people who are lining up to serve, people who have devoted years and years and years already to service, and those who are new to it. And so we're here to honor and celebrate their devotion, their service, their giving to this congregation, so that we all might have a beautiful and combined and cooperative and loving experience that can't be held just by one person. It takes many, many hands. So I invite you to follow along, and those of you who are part of it, you'll know when you're part of it. And I'll begin. The strength of our people and our survival depend on the vitality of the synagogue. It is the Beit Tefillah, the house of prayer in which we worship, the Beit Midrash, the house of study in which we learn, and the Beit Knesset, the house of community in which we gather. Tonight, the newly elected officers and board members of Congregation Beth HaTefillah enter into a sacred covenant with you. This installation is a rite of passage that honors the continuity of leadership, the steady flow of authority and responsibility from those who have served to those who are about to lead. Into their waiting hands is the task of guiding us confidently into our future. So as we all rise, I invite Tikkun Gatchak, our immediate past president, music to his ears, and our president-elect Gaia Goldman to ascend or descend this bima. And you can read first, and then I'll give you the time.
Gaia, as president, you will be the pace setter of our congregation. You will set the agenda and the tone going forward. You are a link in the Jewish chain of leadership that reaches back to those whose names appear in this scroll. Let them be your guide as you accept the mantle of leadership, President.
In the presence of Torah and this congregation, I accept the honor and responsibilities which have been conferred upon me as president. I promise to serve to the best of my ability, to uphold with dignity and courage the ideals for which it stands, to place the interest of the congregation on the highest plane of communal endeavor, to conduct myself at all times as to bring honor to this congregation and to the people of Israel. May God strengthen me in all my endeavors to fulfill this sacred pledge. Amen.
Amen. Will our newly elected officers please join us? The newly elected officers are Sabrina Rockoff, Harris Livingston, Pam Shelton, Shannon Tuck, and Raymond Capilouto. Those of them who are virtually joining us as well. As officers, you are the gateway for ideas and activities. You will decide which shall move forward and which shall not. You are links in the chain of Jewish leadership that reaches back to those whose names appear in our scrolls. Let them be your guide as you accept the mantle of leadership as temple officers. Together.
I accept my position as an officer of Congregation Beth Hatzafilah with full awareness of my responsibility. With humility, devotion, and discernment, I dedicate myself to the task I was chosen to fulfill. May my life be enriched by my service, and may this temple and the Jewish people be enriched by my leadership.
Now will the elected trustees please join the officers? The elected trustees are Amanda Diamond Ring, Alan Filer, Darren Green, Sam Housefather, Allison Rode, Chuck Rosenblum, David Seligman, Marty Stickle, Ann Winter, Paul Glazer, Phyllis Nalick. As trustees, you are the ultimate decision makers. Your voice, your vote, and your work with our committees are the backbone of this congregation. You are links in the chain of Jewish leadership that reaches back to those whose names appear in our scrolls. Let them be your guide as you accept the mantle of leadership as trustees of the board. Together.
I accept my position as a trustee of Congregation Beth Hatzafilah with full awareness of my responsibility, with humility, devotion, and discernment. I dedicate myself to the task I was chosen to fulfill. May my life be enriched by my service, and may this temple and the Jewish people be enriched by my leadership.
I texted Rabbi 2 weeks ago and said, for this installation, do I need to prepare anything? So then she says, no, there's no spoken part. So I thought, I'm off the hook for this one. until I arrived tonight, at which point she leans in and says, "You know, if you wanted to say a few words, you certainly could." So then my Toastmaster self goes in overdrive for the first 5 minutes, thinking, okay, introduction, main body, conclusion, last words linger, and all those things they teach at Toastmasters. But it only took me 5 minutes to realize I needed to pay attention to all my favorite songs that I had the blessing of choosing for tonight's service, and to look straight into Kim's eyes and listen when she says everything is going to be all right. So I don't have a speech prepared. There'll be plenty of time for that next month. It'll be a much longer interaction at that point. But for now, it occurred to me that A, I don't relish the idea of a long speech wearing a mask. I don't want to put you through it. And B, my family's here, but you all are my extended, my chosen family, and it just doesn't feel right to prepare a speech for family. So with that, and because you're family, I will share that, and this is the wrong crowd for this, but the last 6 weeks have been a baptism of fire, or a mikvah of fire, as it were. We've been busy, as you know. Emails have been coming out. We're ready, we're preparing, we're brainstorming, and we will welcome these days of awe with all of the love and resilience that we know. So with that, I will go back to the script. We, your new Board of Trustees, having stated our willingness to accept our roles in the covenant between leaders and congregation, now ask all who are here tonight to rise and renew your commitment as members of this community. We, the members of Congregation are those
lives and whose families will benefit from your leadership, and ours are the children whose future is in your hands. We are willing witnesses tonight to your acceptance of this task of leadership, and we pledge to walk with you in all our honest efforts to serve the congregation. When you call upon us to promise to be willing partners, we will be discerning in our actions, refraining from that which will undermine our shared task of building sacred community. We will come to you with our challenges while also offering solutions, and we will not fail to express our appreciation for your labors, small and great. May God bless you, and may God bless the work of all hands and hearts. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Let's join together in our prayer of thanksgiving, Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Amen.
Mazel tov.
You may be seated, and Jenny Mercer, Jenny Mercer does so many things for our congregation. She teaches Torah to young and older. She manages all the volunteers for Hard Locks. She is a wonderful person who helps assign Torah readings for all the holidays. She's busy redoing our library, which is amazing. And I'm sure I'm missing
Teaches the Yad
several
Squad.
things.
Teaches
Yeah.
the Yad Squad. Sings in the choir.
Sings in the choir now, again. Has taught in our religious school, and tonight she's offering a Dvar Torah. So yay.
You know what I've never done? Is I've never taken a Toastmaster class. And I wish I had, like right now, I wish I had. So, Shabbat Shalom. I sort of hate to follow up on that ceremony because that's a Devar in of itself. But Rabbi asked me to do this, and so I said yes, so here we go. So this week's Parsha from the book of Deuteronomy is Shoftim, which means judges. And obviously it is going to ask us, rather tell us, to think about justice. It begins, "You shall appoint magistrates and officials for your tribes in all the settlements that Adonai your God is giving you, and they shall govern the people with due justice. You shall not judge unfairly. You shall show no partiality. You shall not take bribes, for bribes blind the eyes of discerning and upset the plea of the just." And then, they let you have it. "Justice, justice shall you pursue, that you may thrive and occupy the land that Adonai your God is giving you." With these words and countless others in our Torah, the writer insists that chasing down justice is an eternal religious obligation, the very core of what it means to be a Jew. Not sacrifice, not ritual, though important. The pursuit of justice is the legs that we put on our prayers. Rabbi Bradley Artson says, "Rituals are essential and beautiful, but they remain frosting. Goodness, justice, and decency form the base. Who better to guide us here than the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg? She dedicated every fiber of her being to the pursuit of justice for the poor, the weak, the disenfranchised, and despised. Having been denied opportunities in her early career because she was a Jew and a woman, she was particularly inspired to fearlessly follow this mandate, and it is a mandate. The word justice is spoken twice to make sure we heard it, and the rabbi suggests so that we pursue justice justly. This is the title of her last book, Justice, Justice, Thou Shalt Pursue, a life's work fighting for a more perfect union. This verse was framed and hanging on the wall of her Supreme Court chamber. Her fight for the outsider was shaped by her Judaism, both by its teachings and by the exclusion she experienced being Jewish, and the affront she felt when denied the mitzvah of saying Kaddish for her mother in the minyan because she was a woman. Holding Ruth Bader Ginsburg as a model sets an incredibly high bar, but we can take some hope from the verbs from the passage in Isaiah chapter 1:17. Learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, uphold the rights of the orphan, and defend the cause of the widow. These verbs are about making your best effort. In Pirkei Avot, we hear, "It is not for you to finish the task, but you are not free to avoid it." To understand and to confront justice, we need to understand injustice, and uncomfortably, where we stand inside of it, even how we have benefited from injustice, knowingly or unknowingly. So what in the world could I be talking about? We're all such nice people. I know most of you are all very, very nice people. Well, I was enlightened some time ago by one of our local sages, John Boyle, in the Asheville Citizen-Times. He quotes an article from Vanderbilt University about privilege. And I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone. Okay. It says, privilege operates on personal, interpersonal, cultural, and institutional levels, and it gives advantages, favors, and benefits to members of the dominant groups at the expense of members of target groups. In the United States, privilege is granted to people who have membership in one or more of these social identity groups. So I'm going to list them. You be thinking, count off if you get one of these privilege points. white people, able-bodied people, heterosexuals, males, Christians, don't check that one, middle class or owning class people, middle-aged people, English-speaking people. We've got a lot of that. Then he goes on, the article goes on to say, and I thought this really explained it, privilege is characteristically invisible to people who have it. People in dominant groups often believe that they have earned the privileges that they enjoy, or that everyone could have access to these privileges if only they worked to earn them. In fact, privileges are unearned, and they are granted to people in the dominant groups whether they want those privileges or not, and regardless of their stated intent. Unlike targets of oppression, people in dominant groups are frequently unaware that they are members of the dominant group due to the privilege of being able to see themselves as persons rather than stereotypes. Thank you, John Boyle. It's really hard to see up here. So, those in the dominant group, we take a lot for granted. Of course, our children are able, if they choose, to go to college. We have some savings. Our cars start most every time. We've all been turned down for jobs, but we eventually got pretty good jobs. We're doing okay. We have struggles. But if you took away any one of our privilege points, our struggles would be a completely different matter. The pandemic is a perfect example. If you take away some of the privilege points, a pandemic looks very, very different. Deaths were disproportionately higher in communities of color and non-English speaking. These are people who also didn't have the luxury of working from home because they were essential. So, in our Siddur, we say, when will redemption come? And I'm just going to change that to justice. When will justice come? When we grant everyone what we claim for ourselves. In other words, when everybody's privileged. So, I hope I haven't made you feel terrible. Deuteronomy does not say, justice, justice shall you pursue, and then you get it, and then you throw a big party and you're really happy. It just says pursue it. We know that victories feel rare and are hard fought, but we are instructed to try. Just try. Stay at it. Stop and rest, and then get back in the fight. Shabbat Shalom.
Jenny's so good at doing what she does that she knew that during Elul, it's important to make us uncomfortable, and it's important to make us think. So thank you. Thank you. It is dark. I'm sorry to our friends at home if you can't see us well. We're still here with you. And we're going to rise for Alinu, I think, because I can't see anything.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll face the ark because we have one.
Okay, yeah.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, lateit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu ki goyeh haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
Our thoughts turn now to all who have departed, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives are a blessing to humanity. We mention by name Eddie Fisher, brother-in-law of Harriet and Richard Eisen. And we also acknowledge the very recent passing of Selma Blattman, the aunt of Lanny and Linda Altschuler, who are here this evening. She will be laid to rest on Monday in Florida. As well, we recall the yahrzeits of Irving Cantor, Herbert Eastman, Lillian Friedman, Andrea Garfinkel, Edwin Jones, Molly Levitt, Sylvia Resnikoff, David Rosenblatt, Harriet Rothman, Dr. Joseph T. Schulruff, and Frank Wolf, all of those lovingly mentioned in the chat. And are there additional names to remember this evening? Yeah, Marissa. If you're here in mourning, I invite you to rise so that we might acknowledge your grief. And I invite the congregation to rise and stand with you. If you can see in your prayer books, Kaddish is on page 294. Otherwise, say it from your hearts. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olamei Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shmei Dekudesha Brichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Huya oseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. V'imru amen. Please be seated.
Adonai li Elohim
you can't see him, that's Darren Green coming down for the announcements. Woo, Darren.
Rabbi just gave me permission. Hello, everybody. I am Darren Green. I'm representing the Board of Trustees tonight. Rabbi Seth and Sarah Kim. Thank you again for tonight's service. It was beautiful. Jenny, thank you for your very thoughtful and extremely relevant Devar. It's that theme is permeating through organizations throughout the country. So thank you for bringing it to our temple tonight. And Gaia, Mazel Tov, on officially being installed as our board president. We all have great faith in you, no pressure. And we look forward to your many speeches. And thank you to all of our temple officers and board members who came to support Gaia tonight. Kevin, if you're still here, we are grateful for your tech support, making our services possible for everyone who is present with us from home. And speaking of our tech team, Kevin is looking for a few dedicated volunteers to help with production of our stream services. So if you are interested and have the know-how, please see your email for details. I have a few announcements that I want to share with you. Hopefully all of our members saw the email last night from Gaia with our high holiday plans. Please take some time to digest all that is being offered to make a meaningful holiday. Remember, you must have your fair share commitment and to be part of this offering. We still have not heard from many of you, so please take the time during the next week or so to get your commitments in. One thing to note for everyone, members and guests coming to Shabbat or into the temple for any reason, we are still asking anyone 12 and over to be vaccinated, and everyone must be masked. Religious school registration is open. Please get your kids registered and reach out to Seth with any questions. I know parents out there are extremely excited to get those few hours on Sunday back. For the next 3 Thursdays, join the Elevating Elul services with Billy Jonas on Zoom. It's a lovely way to ease into the high holiday season. The link is in your weekly email. A heads up for those of you who plan to continue streaming on a regular basis at home. Our slides that are part of our streaming production will soon be going away. If you'd like to follow along in your prayer book, there will be information on your weekly email about how to purchase a prayer book or even a Kindle edition. Look for updated info on how to do the ordering coming in your email on Tuesday, or email Buffy for the info. If everyone in here, let me rewind. Lastly, or second to last, Jewish calendars have arrived and are in the back table of the amphitheater. For those of you who are watching and would like one, please contact the office to schedule a time to pick one up. So those of you here, please grab one on your way out. And if everyone here in the amphitheater can help Kent this evening by putting your prayer books back on the cart and stacking the cushions by the back religious school door, we'd really appreciate it. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Darren. Just one also additional, if anyone who's out there or here is planning on attending High Holiday services at home and doesn't already have machzorim, you also have to call the CCR and offer them and order them to have them online. We will not have slides for the High Holy Days. So you'll need a book with you, and we'll call pages, and it'll be just like you're in a pew, but maybe you'll be in a recliner or sitting at your table or wherever you're going to be. So, and the last thing I wanted to say is that Gaia is not a great speaker because she took Toastmasters. She's a great speaker because she has a great heart. And I started the service with what's on my bumper sticker. But if you've seen Gaia's car license plate, what she chose to put as her mantra, as her reminder, as her reflection, as her car tattoo is Lev Tahor, pure heart. And that's why she's a great speaker, because she draws on a pure heart. And we are privileged to have her lead us for the next 2 years and beyond. So she has chosen the music for the whole service, including our final song, Olam Chesed Yibaneh. It's all the same thing. We build, you build, I build. If we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Please rise. Olam Chesed Yibaneh.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Olam Chesed Olam Chesed I will build this world from love.
And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. I can't hear you. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Shabbat shalom
Shabbat
to all
Shabbat
of you.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom to the frogs. Shabbat shalom to all of you at home. We love you. We miss you. Stay safe.